attending this meeting, you are actually, by attending this meeting, you are actually agreeing to the privacy policy. In case you do not want your camera to be on, you do not want to show your face, that's completely fine. We do abide by your decision. At the same time, please always be on mute, and if you want to raise any point, please use the raise hand option, or you can just type in the chat box and I will give my due appropriate attention. Please do not share the screen and avoid messaging in between, but of course, if you have any question, just drop it in the chat box and we will try to answer that in the Q&A section, as you will see in just a few moments of time from now. Just in case you're visiting Zoom for the first time, these are all the control options, so you can get accustomed to the same. Have a look for a few seconds. And these are the raise hand options, so you'll be able to use the same. Well, my name is Anand Kumar, and I am the club president of the Delhi One Toastmasters. I'm also serving as Area E2 Director in Toastmasters International. I'm an author, I am a student right now, and there are lots of things. But this is the guest orientation session for all of you, and I would be more than happy to help you with any other things. And first and foremost thing, if you all people, if you're comfortable, if you can switch on your videos, that would be really very nice. And at the same time, I would like to go in the room to take introduction from every one of you. If you could share, of course we can see your name, but if you can still let us know what's your name, what you would like us to call you by, like your first name or your last name, whatever, and where you are from, and what brought you here to Toastmasters or Delhi One Toastmasters in specific. So I will go by what I can see on my screen. So I can see Gitika is there. So hi Gitika, how are you doing? And if you could introduce yourself.
Hey, hi everyone. This is Gitika Khosla. I am right now staying in Delhi. So, and I'm a product manager by profession. So I actually saw a Toastmaster Facebook ad as well as LinkedIn ad. So I thought, why not to give a chance and just to understand like what exactly it does. And my main motive here is to grow my leadership skills and public speaking skills. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much, Gitika. It's lovely to see you here, and thank you for tuning in. I can see Kapil is there. So hello, Kapil, how are you? And if you could also introduce yourself.
Hey, hi friends, myself Kapil. I am also belong to Delhi only, and currently I am a professional. I have work experience for more than 15 years, currently working as a process and capabilities manager. I'm looking forward for further explore and enhance my skills, leadership skills and presentation skills via this particular group. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kapil. It's lovely to have you in our club meeting. We hope that you will have a great time here. I can see Manvi is here. So hello, Manvi, how are you doing? And if you would tell us something about yourself.
Yeah, sure. So hi everyone, I am Manvi. I am right now a third year student in Lady Shriram College. And I came to know about Toastmasters through my friends in college itself. And I wanted to join the club in order to learn more about public speaking and to participate more and connect with more people. And I'm looking forward to have a great time here. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Manvi. And I know that I think there was a talk about a club, prospective club in the Lady Shriram College. I know that one of our club members, if I'm right, she who is also serving as one of the district officers, she was there, and she's a former member of Lady Shriram College, and she was in touch with you all. So it's lovely to have you here in our club meeting. Thank you so much for tuning in. I can see Medha Nair is here. If I'm pronouncing that wrong, please correct me.
Yeah, it's Medha Nair.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm Medha Nair, and I'm also from Delhi. I am currently a student of psychology, and I am looking forward to improve my communication and public speaking skills.
That's lovely, Medha, to see you here. And I have lots and lots of friends who are doing psychology, so it's really very interesting subject. Good to have you here. I can see Neeraj is also here. So hello, Neeraj, how are you doing? And if you could introduce yourself.
Yeah, hello everyone. I'm also living in Delhi itself. So I have been professional in sales for 2 years, and my cousin suggested me to go for it, like join any kind of clubs of Toastmaster. So I'm just exploring and
Good
looking
to
for.
have you here. Good
Yeah,
to have you here, Neeraj.
thank you.
I hope you will have a splendid time with us. Now I can see, okay. I can see guest Prachita Jain. Yep. Prachita, if you could introduce yourself, we would love to hear from you.
Yeah, hi, I'm Prachita, and I am a student. I'm a student at ISB. So I just got to know about like Toastmasters through the college, through the club at ISB, and it was just I had the first session with them last week, and it was just super fun. And I just thought that I wanted to be involved more with like Toastmasters any chance that I probably can, and so I showed my interest in this club, and that's why I'm here today, because I want to know more about it and the ways that I can continue Toastmasters beyond ISB.
Okay, thank you so much, Prachita. It's lovely to have you here.
Thank you.
I'm not too accustomed with all the university's name or the college's name. So, what's the full form of your, like, the whole name of the university?
Yeah, so ISB is Indian School of Business.
Sorry, I heard IST. Okay,
Yeah,
ISB, this School of
yeah.
Business. Okay, that's lovely to hear from you. Okay,
Thank you.
I can see now Praveen is here. So, hi, Praveen.
Yes, hi everyone, good evening. So my name is Praveen and I'm currently staying in Delhi and I'm currently working in Gurgaon. So I want to join Toastmasters Club to basically improve my public speaking skills. So that's why I'm here. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Praveen. It's lovely to have you here. I can also see that Priyanka is here. So hello, Priyanka. How are you doing? And if you could share something about yourself.
Hi, I am Priyanka. I am also from Delhi, and recently I am starting my motor insurance business. And I listen this. I just searched this club through Google.
That's lovely. It's good to have you here. And yep, we will have more time to discuss on the same. That's what the meeting is all about today. We all are this, so there is no member right now present here because it's a session which is only meant for the guests. So all the people of you are not a Toastmasters member if you're just wondering if there is any other Toastmaster. But of course, when you will be in a club meeting, which in the next this upcoming Friday, you will be able to see in guests, sorry, members as well. Okay. I can see also Ravi is here and Shalu is here. So first of all, Ravi, if you could introduce yourself, and then I will come to Shalu. Ravi, you are unmuted, I can see, but we cannot hear you. Okay, Ravi, we are not able to hear you. By the time, if you can just work that out, I will come back to you again. I will move to Shalu for the time being. So, hi Shalu, how are you doing? And if you could introduce yourself.
Hi everyone. I'm Shalu. I'm from Delhi, and I'm doing MBA. And there is a platform where I found I give my best, and I learned from this club. And recently I realized where I give energy. So I decided to give energy in this club. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Shalu. It's lovely to have you here. Ravi, I hope we will be able to hear you from you now. Can you try speaking? Okay, we are still not able to hear you. Just make sure in case you are using a Bluetooth device or something, then that is like set or synchronized with the same input or the microphone. Okay, we are still not able to hear you, but no worries. What we can do is that I will come to you again towards the end in the Q&A session. We will of course like to hear from you, and I'm hopeful that you'll be able to make it by sorting the technical glitch which is happening. But for the time being, I hope I have not missed anyone's introduction. In case I have missed, please unmute yourself, share what all special things you all are doing. Okay, I don't see any raise of hands. So I will share with you my screen. Just give me a moment. No worries, Ravi. Just drop us a chat drop us a message in the chat, and I'll be more than happy to answer the same. That's completely fine. And because I'm sharing my screen, I will be not able to see lots of chat messages, but so feel free to actually just interrupt me in between if you have any questions, but also feel free to just drop it in the chat box. I should be able to see that. Okay, so first of all, I want to know from you all that what do you know about Toastmasters and why you want to be a part of Toastmasters, if in case you have already decided the same. So anybody from the audience who would like to go for it, why they are here, or what's the reason they want, they know about what they know about Toastmasters up till at this moment. Anybody from the audience member? Okay, you. So let me tell you that there are two dimensions of Toastmasters that will that is like very easy to see right off front. The first is the leadership, and the second. Okay, thank you so much, Priyanka, to improve communication and public speaking. So yep, these are few of the skills which you can learn. This is one other dimension to it, that is the leadership skill, and that's something which not many people explore, but there are people who explore. So why Toastmasters? It's because I will just give you an example of how Toastmasters helps. If you look at the number of universities where Toastmasters Club are present, which have been set up in order to help either this at the university level or at financial companies or IT companies or media houses, you go pretty much everywhere, you will find a Toastmasters Club over there. And the reason is that in today's world, communication, as Priyanka said, is really, really very crucial role. But it's just not about communication, it's also about the leadership skills. In these times of COVID, yeah, thank you so much, Shalu. You want to break your comfort zone and get better day by day. That's exactly what it is. I will say that when it comes to leadership skills, as I will show you in a few moments, you can take up roles in the club, in the area, in the division, as I already iterated, and you have got few things to tackle. So I will just give you my own example. So some of you might be feeling that it's a very role which will be really very not so drastic or not so wide in terms of length and geography, but our district itself is a part contains like 4 different countries, and I was last year working as assistant district logistics manager, and as you know already that last year there was complete lockdown, and I was serving as assistant logistics manager. So for me, it was a huge important task to make sure that shipments and logistics, the internal, the export and the shipments of things were taking shape to my fellow country, my other fellow members' country, their awards were getting shipped to them, and all of the things, the paperwork, the banking, all of the things, how to negotiate with the vendors, and all those things. These are the soft skills which you learn. How do you lead a team of 5 to 10 people? There will be constraints under which you will have to work. At the same time, there will be conflicts, and these are the soft skills, the real life skills which you will use every now and then, whether it's in your professional life or in your just personal life as well. So we have got the agenda today. First of all, I would like to know your goals. We will then go to the club meeting roles, as you will normally see when you go to a club meeting, what are the roles which are played. Then I will talk about pathways. So pathways, just like ICSE, CBSE, different boards that we have in our schools. Toastmasters too have got their own syllabus kind of a thing, which is known as pathways. So every pathway has got 14 projects, and every project is different. It has got certain goals to achieve, like your first project will be your icebreaker, so you just need to introduce yourself, that's it. But let's say if you advance to higher levels, so there will be projects like to give a 22 minutes keynote speech, and it will have certain objectives, or different sort of to make a podcast or a presentation. How do you make a presentation, and all those things. Then we will come to mentoring, leadership opportunities, which I already said, and next steps, and member support and club expectations that you can have. Well, for example, let's say you join a club. What normally happens? You join a club or any other platform with an intention, right? So let's say if my intention is that I want to network and to give, and I'm a person who is not so confident of being on stage. I will just start with as simple as thing that I want to network with people. So networking doesn't mean that I will go in a club meeting and I will network with all the 20 people who come over there, or all the 100 people who come over there. I will choose that, okay, every single meeting that I am gonna go, I will just have conversation with 2 people and have meaningful conversations with them. Not the whole 20, not the whole 100 people, just 2 people. That's my goal. And that's how you will start to begin. If I'm afraid of giving speeches, I will try to give myself more stage time so that my fear of public speaking can go away. Like I'm really very bad at humor, and you might be able to sense that a bit, because I'm kind of in a monotone right now because I'm talking, but at times I do fuse humor, but it's not so great, so I'm not trying to do that even over here. But that's one thing which I want myself to improve upon. And by bringing the humor aspect in, let's say in my speech, I can learn a new dimension of my speaking, of how to interact with someone, not to make it monotonous. So this is one thing. So accordingly, you can set up your goals. So now, if I may ask you, like, what are you looking forward to specifically? Like, are you looking towards more of the speaking side, or are you looking more towards the leadership side? Because accordingly, I will be able to share with you what the platform has to offer. I will be able to sense what you're looking forward to, and accordingly, I can help you understand the same. Ravi, I think you are trying to speak, but I still cannot hear you. Your voice is not coming through. Okay, so Kapil has typed in, he wants both the public speaking and leadership. Okay, I will wait for 5-10 odd seconds. If someone wants to drop a chat or they want to unmute themselves.
Hey, I'm Deepika here. So
Yeah,
if
hi,
I
Deepika.
talk about my goals, I'm very clear. Like being a working professional, we have to communicate with foreign clients as well, and we have to, execute a lot of meetings, stand-ups. So definitely communication skills is the one. But as I'm having 6+ years of experience and definitely want to grow in my career path, so definitely leadership is also one of the key aspects that I'm also looking for. Yeah, thanks.
Right. That reminds me actually that, and that also just not reminds me, it's also makes me connect. I was talking to one of our former members yesterday. So he's a chartered accountant and he works for a firm. And he was there with one of our, he was there for quite some time with our club. And now he has got promoted and he's right now in Netherlands. I myself right now am tuning in from London. There are lots and lots of people because giving just a small background about myself that I'm a student right now and I come from state of Bihar, and it's of course that not much of education level is there, but it was a whole new experience for me to come into a different culture, to talk with different people, to work with the professors, with other non-profits and all. And the way the diversity and inclusion comes in, it makes you feel that you are part of it. You can strike that very conversation, strike that very deal. You can go and reach out to your mentors and professors or your managers and all those people. So that's what it is for. Because if you're not able to network, it's not, networking doesn't mean that it's for your profit, or but it's about having a meaningful good friendship or a good relationship with in a professional relationship with anyone. So this is where Toastmasters helps. It totally widens you up to a completely new field, especially in this online meeting where you can just tune into a meeting which is happening in, let's say, Tanzania, or you can tune in a meeting which is happening in Pakistan or Nepal or US. So it takes it up a notch. At the same time, I also saw there are people who are talking about leadership, and I know that there are people in our club who have, like I can recall that one of our former chartered members, whose name is Deepak Menon. He was the international president of Toastmasters International, like 2 years before. So, like if you get to work with the whole sort of international arena, and then your test and skills are tested. Leadership here, which I want to talk about, is just not about the idea that you would be in a position and position defines your leadership skills. That's not exactly the thing. I will come to this idea about pathways and leadership in speeches in just a moment of how this fused together. But just to give you a glimpse, there's a project in Pathways called how to handle. I'm forgetting the exact title, but how to handle rough audience, kind of similar of that title. And the project is all about how you handle when the situation gets bad. So let's say, for example, a few years back, you would remember that there was a case that Maggie was said that, okay, it has got leads and irons and all those kinds of things in it. And so just imagine at that very point of time, if you are the CEO of the company or you are the spokesman of the company and you're put in front of a press, okay, and the whole press is like against you, or they want to write against you, not in your favor, how you're going to deal in that very situation, right? Then your skills are tested, then your public speakings are tested. It's not like they will pick a situation and say, okay, this is the situation in which only the leadership skill will be tested, and this is the situation in which public speaking will only be tested. Things will fuse together, and this is the exact platform that can help you deliver the same. I know people who have been lawyers in the Supreme Court of India or Delhi High Court, or chartered accountants. There has been a former IAS officer who was part of our club. So there are people who are benefiting from this journey if you put in the right efforts. Okay, I am seeing few messages in the chat box. So Tuku says that I wish to improve any skill of articulation and persuasion through communication. Exactly right, Tuku. So this is exactly what the platform can offer to you, and you can drive how you want to go forward with the same. Now, let me tell you that how can we support you? Now, there are different sorts of people, and the best thing when we are talking about communication, communication also means asking for support, asking for help. And it's a really, really important skill which everybody should learn no matter what the age is. The first is there anything specific do you want us to help you to meet your goals? Let's say you are a person who is not really very good at speeches, or if your first language is not English. For many of you that will be the case because we either know Hindi, or for few people Urdu, or few people Punjabi, and all those sorts of things. So if you feel that okay, language is not your cup of tea, then you can of course let the people know, and the people can help you. There's a second highest ranking officer known as Vice President Education. That person is responsible for all the projects that you'll be delivering once you become a member, if in case you decide to do the same. So you can talk to them and say that okay, I'm not good at giving writing speeches or giving speeches. Can you help me with the same? Can you just do a proofreading? So what I normally do, that one of my mentees which I have, what she normally does is that she writes a speech on the Google Doc, and she sends me across. Okay, and on that very Google Doc, I do not write anything. I do not edit it. I just write comments. If there is any grammatical error, if there is any sentence which it can be shortened, or something of that sort. So she reached out to me, although she's not part of my club, but she's part of another club, but she wanted me to help her on the same. And that's how she reached out to me, and that's how we were able to help each other, because in a way it is also helping me to improve my language. So this is one thing. So you should always know what your requirements are. Accordingly we can plan out things. If you want, for the time being, let's say if you want to dive more into leadership part, you can ask your club, okay, I will be delivering probably a bit less speeches because I want to go toward leadership and take a taste of the same, but I want to just make this right balance for you, and the club should be happy to help you out on the same. The second thing is that do you want to set your own time frames, or do you want us to nudge you to participate? And it's completely fine both the ways, because there are few people who are not so comfortable to give speeches, and sometimes they just say, okay, I will deliver a speech after 2 weeks, and then there's 1 week left, and then there is 2 days left, and then there's 1 day left. And when there is a day left, they come onto the VPN and they say, okay, I'm traveling somewhere, and that's the reason I won't be able to deliver the speech. But they know somewhere else that, okay, they were not prepared, and that's the reason they backed out at the last moment. So instead of that, okay, you can set a time frame for yourself if you want to do the same. And this is again a soft skill which you are learning for yourself, a life skill which you are learning for yourself. But in case you want, if you know that, okay, I'm not a person who will come out myself and I want someone to be there, you can say to your VP at off front that even if I don't come up for speeches, just put down my name after, at least after every 2 weeks, so that I come onto the stage and deliver something. So that's also a good thing to start initially. Well, when you will be in the club meetings, you will be able to see that each meeting role will have a unique set of skills which you will be able to learn, and every role will be different. Information will be there of how you can sign up with for your roles if you do decide to join any of the clubs. But that depends on the club. Mostly it's through WhatsApp or through some sort of Google form or something. But I will come mostly on the idea of what different roles are, and then I will come to you if you have got any questions. And feel free to interrupt me if you want to ask any question or something. So the first role is the Toastmaster of the day. You'd have seen like a TV show, or let's say a daily night show, if you like to watch the US kind of a thing, or if you are from the Indian sort of TV industry, so if you like to watch any of the Indian comedy shows or something of that sort. So there's a host in the meeting, right? But the host of that very TV show, and he drives all the things. Now, it might look a bit tedious kind of a thing, but at the same time, it's really, really important role which you need to learn. Because let's say if I put you in a frame, let's say there's a literature fest happening. Okay, let's say there's a literature fest happening, and you are the person who's gonna host the meeting. So now what you will be doing? Let's say I am a speaker who is coming for the literature festival, and you are the host who is gonna interview me, or rather talk to me. So what will be the few things which you would do to prepare for that very, let's say, 30 odd minutes of a speak? Uh, Anybody would like to answer that? What will be your approach? Just think about the same, like what do you see when someone calls anybody onto the stage? What they normally do? Like, how does it happen?
Introduce them with their personal background, their
Yeah,
professional background,
right, right.
and what they are going to do in, like what they are going to give in the speech, and what
Right,
is the objective of the speech.
right, exactly, exactly. I can see Kapil has typed in that to get few details on the content of discussion and something about the presenter. Exactly right. Anything else they would like to you would like to share? Okay, so sorry, sorry, yeah. So that's really, really important thing which both of you mentioned, is that you need to get the introduction of the speaker. Now just imagine that if I come directly onto the stage and if I just start speaking, you will be like, well, who this person is, I do not even know him. Okay, or I do not even know her. Why is this person onto the stage? He or she may be just a random person. Greet and meet, share the agenda. That's exactly the thing. That's a really, really very good suggestion. Not suggestion, but exactly a thing which should be done. That is to share the agenda. So if you go to any literature festival, you will be able to see the agenda. Like, this is the speaker on this topic. This person is going to speak. This is the time frame. So everything is like continuous, and this is of course the role just not of the VP, as you will be able to see, the Vice President Education, who will make the agenda before the meeting begins, well in advance, but it's also the role of the Toastmaster to make sure that an hour-long meeting goes for only an hour. I remember that I was sitting in mm, uh, a classroom, and a guest speaker was there, and the session was meant for 1 hour. Okay, and the professor, like, she's the top of the line professor in the whole world for her whole thing. But the thing is, she went on to speak for 2.5 hours, and people in the room, because it was online, people in the room like switched off the lights, the camera was off, and she was going on speaking and speaking and speaking, and my professor on the other end couldn't do anything. Okay, so you would not want to be that speaker. You should, as a Toastmaster of the day, because you're the host, you want only that 1 hour to go and to be contained with. You do not want the meeting to get prolonged or to run only for 5 to 10 minutes. That's not the thing we should like to do. So of course, the skills of how do you interact with anybody. So you need to get the introduction, you need to get the information about their speech, what they are going to speak about, how you are going to just introduce. Normally people just take the introduction from the speaker and they speak about the very person. But if you really want to build the connect, then of course you would like to share your anecdotes, if you have any, with the speaker from the past, any interesting thing, or any interesting idea which you have about the content on which the speaker is going to talk about. Making sure all the role players are there, all the people are there, because let's say, imagine if you are hosting an event of, let's say, 10,000 people, and you do not know who the next speaker is, or if you do not know who if there are 4 people who do not come onto the stage and people are expecting them to speak for like 30 minutes, you will be completely awestruck and you will be left with no option. So you, as the Toastmaster of the day, is the main person who will be like the host of the meeting, who will be driving the meeting whole throughout. So you should be a good person who should be able to interact. And these are the soft skills. Again, I'm saying you will have to interact and network with people, communicate with them, ask them, okay, I hope that you will be at least 15 minutes before the club meeting starts. And yeah, let me know if you need any help or anything of that sort. Just make sure that everybody is prepared, everybody is ready to go, and they will be there. Now, I will talk about the auxiliary role players. There are three mainly, and the first is the grammarian. So you can see the grammarian will make sure that he or she will look into the grammar. He or she will also give a word of the day. So I really feel it. A word of the day. So that's basically give a word of the day, and it's a really good idea if you want to improve your English or any language. It really helps you to incorporate, because let's say I learned a word flabbergasted and I have never used it before. Until and unless I use it quite a few times, I won't be able to ingrain it into my speaking. So I will just come up with that very well. Okay, flabbergasted is the word of the day. And when people use that word in the meeting, I will just give them a thumbs up. So you are also improving your own grammar by looking into the grammar of the people who are speaking, but at the same time you're also including a word of the day, so others vocabulary improve, but at the same time it's also your vocabulary that you are trying to improve upon. There are few resources for all the roles, for all the things. You will have resources, scripts available to begin with, and of course you can invent and reinvent the way you like, keeping the crux intact. There is a role of the R counter then. Now you would have been hearing from me a few times about and I'm taking that very break. It's not a good habit to be in, but still it's a role which will help you to get accustomed to make sure that you do not commit the same, or at least you try to lessen that as time progresses. So there are many hiccups which we take, like or we use the words like you must have already heard many of the cricketers or sports persons speak like they really played well, and that person really made a good century today, and he helped the club, and so that and that when it comes up, that really doesn't sound nice. And this is the role of the R counter. He or she will look into that. She will note down, okay, these are the times at which the speaker spoke these many filler sounds or words, and he or she will come with the report to let the speaker know that, okay, this is where you are making mistake, whether it's or whether it's or whether it's and, or whether it's so, or whether it's but. So every single person has got their own set of filler words which they use, and it differs from person to person. So it's always nice to know what filler sounds brings hindrance in your speech. The third role is the timer. As you can already understand, the timer will keep the timings of the meeting, and he will show the green card when it's the minimum time. So let's say you are giving a speech of 5 to 7 minutes. The green card will be shown at 5 minutes, a yellow card at the meantime, that is 6 minutes, and the red card at the top side, that is the 7 minutes. And for table topics, you have got only a grace period on the upper part for 30 odd seconds. But for the normal speeches and for role players, you have got a grace period of 30 seconds on both the upper and the lower part. So that's one thing. So it's really very important for the timer to be meticulous. If you really want to hear every single person speak, and if you sometimes feel, okay, that I do not hear the speaker at many times, I do not listen the meeting what people are saying, timer might be a good role for you to just get into this very zone of speaking. Any questions for the time being? If you have any, just let me know. Okay, sensing none, I will move to the table topics. Okay, what do you mean by grammarian script lock? Okay, so like for every role, you will get a script. Like if so, this is basically meant for the people who are doing it for the first time or for the initial stages. So they will say like, if I'm the grammarian of the day, so I will be asked to first introduce my role, what I'll be doing in this meeting, and then I will say something like this. Hello, my name, because let's say you are the Grammy, you are attending for the first time, okay? And let's assume this is not a guest orientation session, it's a normal meeting. So I will, to help you understand what is happening in the meeting, I will say that, okay, my name is Anand and I will be serving as the grammarian of the day. So my role for the day would be to make notes of the good and the bad usages of grammar, and I will come up with my report towards the end. At the same time, I've got a word which is really something which I learned just a few days back, and the word is flabbergasted. And so the word flabbergasted means this, and the usage in the sentence can be like, I was flabbergasted when I knew that I was going to Varanasi. Okay, so this is what I said, and you can just give a thumbs up if someone uses the word of the day. So in a way, so you're just introducing your role, because let's say you are here, you do not know what the role is or what I'm doing basically, so you won't be able to understand. So every time that person comes up onto the stage, so he or she is getting a stage time where he or she will speak. So you're getting comfortable with that, but at the same time, how do you pitch? How do you share what you're gonna do next? Okay, for anything. Let's say if it's a small session where I just need to introduce yourself, introduce some speaker. I will be really very quick in what I will be doing, and then I will turn the stage to them. So this is what I said, like this is my role which I'll be doing, but then I quickly turn the stage to the speakers or to whatever that person is. So this is what the role is, and the script and the log will help you to jot down the things and speak the same thing if you want to, just to take help. Tuku, I will come to your question, what's the cost and all, because that's if you find it interesting, I will suggest you think about the same, because it depends on from person to person, and I will suggest not just even to directly join. I think this upcoming Friday there will be a demo meeting which we are holding for all the people, so you can just tune in, see what happens, and then you can think about the same. That will be a good thing to do, but still I will talk about the same in just a few moments. Now, there are three segments in the meeting. The first is the prepared speech. The second is the table topics. So table topics is nothing but impromptu 1 to 2 minute speech. And the third is the evaluation. So this is the third part. Sorry, the second part, the table topic speaker. So there is a table topic master and there is a table topic speaker. So table topic master will give the topics, and table topic speaker will volunteer to give impromptu speech of 1 to 2 minutes. So let's say you are visiting as a guest, probably this is the best option for you to try how public speaking works, or if you just fear public speaking, this might be the right segment of the meeting, because you get a chance to speak. So do try out for the same. So I might be giving you a topic, let's say the topic might be I don't know. Simple as that. And you can just build a story from that. You can build a humorous story from that. You can also share some anecdote of your life. So you just have to speak for 1 to 2 minutes, because let's say you go in a party, or if you go in a conference, or for some reason you are meeting someone else. People don't come prepared with a question that this is what they are going to ask to me. There are impromptu things which happens. Okay. And at that very point of time, you would want to speak impromptu, but at the same time, with that very same depth, what you have. So this is where which will help you get accustomed to speak freely, get off that very fear, and at the same time, be comfortable while you are interacting with all people. So as I said, the table topics master will give you this table topic speech. So it's only he or she that knows that what the topic is. So normally what she will do is that she will have a bunch of topics, and he or she will ask you to choose one of them. And then she will say the topic, something in this format, that is your name, your speech title, and the name. So let's say my topic is I don't know. So I will say Anand Kumar, I don't know. I don't know Anand Kumar. So this is the normal convention, so that they can understand that, okay, it's only after this that I have to speak. So the timer can also accordingly adjust the timings. So this is what the thing is. So you will prepare with a bunch of topics, and I've seen people trying really different sorts of things. I remember that in one of the sessions, somebody made up a story. They said, okay, you are the first person, and you are a person who has been charged for stealing a chick, for stealing a hen. Okay, and he just made some story out of it, and he had to defend himself in a courtroom kind of setting. There was other person, and he said that, okay, now you are his friend, and you saw the last day that he was carrying that very hen towards his home, and he said something from that. And then there's a third person. You said that now you need to talk in a manner in which you are the judge, and you need to give the judgment. So it can be a bit fun also. It's not always that this is the topic and this is what you have to speak about. You can just play with the thing. Now if you saw it here, what I did with this very thing is that I made you to get into the shoes of someone else and speak in that very frame. Now let's say if I ask you to speak in a manner of how a judge gives the judgment, now you will have to use those words, you will have to use that very tone, you will have to use that very vocal variety, because you cannot be very high or very low and show your emotions. That's not what a judge normally does when he or she gives judgment. So this is like a kind of way in which you can fuse different elements of public speaking, and this is what even you can learn. And the better you learn, the better you'll be able to play the role onto the stage. Now, as a speaker, as I said, this is the main thing which people come up, that I want to give prepared speeches. This is what you'll be able to do. You will normally give 5 to 7 minutes speech, but there are lots and lots of projects. There's a project which is related to how to make a podcast. There is also a project where you can prepare yourself for how to give an interview. There's also a podcast where you can there's also a project where you can give a keynote speech of 21 to 22 minutes, so like really long speeches. So there are different sorts of projects, and it depends on the pathways which you take, and the resources and the way you want to drive in. So normally what will happen is after you have given your speech, you'll be evaluated, and this is the third part, the evaluation. If you just keep on doing what you are doing, you probably will improve at some point, but you won't improve in such a quick span of time, because only when you get evaluation, you will be able to improve. You know what is reaching out to the audience and what is not working for your audience. So it's really very important for even you to understand, okay, this is what works for the audience and this is what which doesn't. So there will be an evaluator who will give you the evaluation, what you both did right and what didn't come out so well. So like the structure of the speech, like if you are saying a story, if you just said 5 to 10 stories, I will say that okay, you have a lot of good stuffs, but instead of saying 5 to 10 stories, just say 3 stories and give us a to-do thing. Like when I go back, what I want what I want me to remember is that I didn't just heard few random things, but there was a message which was behind the topic, and this is what I had to carry. Can you consolidate the message in like 10 words at max? So this is my evaluation for someone who shared 10 different stories and had no connection. Okay, so this is one thing which or it might be like just to say that you said a humor but it didn't came out so well. Why don't you just try to change the intonation or say it in a different way, from a different with a different facial expression? Just raise the eyebrow. That might bring in the laugh or the humor part. So this is the way you can evaluate. So in a way, you are also learning that what works for the audience, but at the same time, you are also helping someone else. So this is again a really good part to be in. And then there is a general evaluator who will evaluate the meeting, uh, the whole meeting in totality. Like from the meeting starts, the time taken, the grammarian, the hour counter, the TMOD, the table topic speaker, the table topics master, the speakers, everyone. So in general, she will decide that, okay, this is how the meeting was it of the right quality standard which we should have met. So it's one of those very roles which we say that you take towards the very end, because the role of Toastmaster of the Day, Table Topic Master, and GE are something which are really very important, and it takes some time to get into the shoes. But I will say that begin with an auxiliary role player, that is grammarian, hour counter, or timer. then advance on to the speaker role, then take on the role of the evaluator, and then go on to table topic speaker, then TMOD, and towards the end come to the general evaluator. Well, I was talking about the speeches, which is the main thing which many people want to know about. So this is the pathways, which I already said, and there are 11 unique pathways, and it all depends on what you want your skills to be. You can take an online assessment, which you will be able to take once you take a membership. Okay, and it will suggest you 3 pathways based on the answers which you have given. Or if you do not want to choose any of the 3 pathways, you can completely shrug them off and choose your own pathway, which is not even recommended to you. So you can also do that. So every pathway has got 5 levels, and every level has got few speeches, and it depends what kind of speeches you want to give. And it will have different sorts of pathways, like you can say dynamic leadership if you want to improve your leadership skills. There is effective coaching if you want your coaching one, and there's a humor pathway, planning one, a development for leadership, motivational strategies, persuasive influence. So you can choose quite a bit based on what your preferences are. I will just go through every pathway, I will just share the slides and just change from one to another. Let me know if you have any questions about the same. You will be able to see that they are the core skills, the main skills, which will remain almost similar, but they are skills, the additional skills, which will like make it a big dynamic. So this is what the skills you'll be able to learn. So as you can see there, in the first pathway, you will, in the first level, there will be 3 projects, the icebreaker, then there will be an evaluation, then you need to get evaluated. You also need to write about your, how do you research about any speech? That's another important thing. And accordingly, the project progresses further. So these are the few pathways which you can see. Before I come to mentoring part, does anybody has got any questions?
Anand, can we get these slides, or if we can compare the different pathways?
Yeah,
after the session.
Yeah, I can do that. You can also go onto the Toastmasters website. Just type Toastmasters International Pathways. You will get all the information, like for any information which you require, and like even if you join as a member, whether at my club or anywhere, like now or anytime later, Toastmasters website is the best resource that you can go. And like I am saying this not just because I'm part of Toastmasters, but as I already said, whether it's universities, whether these are companies, they like I remember on my university's website itself, they have said that if you want to work on your communication skills, go to Toastmasters webpage. So there are universities who recommend that. So just go on the resources and make use of the resources. There are probably a few resources you will be able to get like their newsletters and so on. So you'll be able to get few resources, but once you become member of, you of course have the full-fledged thing. Now, let me tell you about mentoring. So when you join Toastmasters, you should, and if you don't get one, if you're already part of a Toastmasters club, which as per my understanding, you are not, but whenever you join Toastmasters, or if you do decide to join, ask for a mentor. He or she can really, really be helpful. And it's your job to make sure that you reach out to your mentors. Now, I will just give you an example. Now, in Toastmasters, first of all, what happens is that when you join Toastmasters as a member, the VP at Education will come and say that, okay, we need to assign you a mentor. Is there any preference you have for someone, like you would want this very person to be your mentor? You will, if you have any, you will say that. You will probably check with that very person. If he or she agrees, then of course you can be mentored later. Otherwise, if you do not have any preference, then she will check with someone, and if he or she agrees, then they will just assign you to that very person. So just give me a moment. Yeah, so this is what happens. And I have seen that the people who reach out to their mentors really learn a lot, not just in Toastmasters, but in general. I will give you an example from my own thing. After my grade 12th, I took 2 gap years, and I was in Toastmasters. And I think probably it was one of the most fruitful things I did during the 2 gap years that I took. And it brought me into this very cycle of how do you reach out to people. And that's a skill which I learned, which I'm now implementing. And now when I'm in my college, because that's the only thing which I can draw my experiences from, because I'm a student, uh, I go to my professor's office hours and I ask for them. Like I had this crazy idea that I wanted to do some kind of documentary film, and I wanted to do about the conservation and research and present it something in a way which is it's some sort of academically related, but I had no idea what to do about it. And because had this very idea of how to reach out to people, I reached out to my professor, and she really helped me to apply for a few research conferences and improve upon my ideas, what to write, what not to write, how to write an abstract, how to write a speech. So everything fuses together. So this is a skill which you're basically learning. It's not about just writing speeches. Why are writing speeches? Why are asking for help? That okay, I want to build my leadership skills. What can I do? I fear that I am not too sure how to reach out to people. I am that very person who once is surrounded in like a kind of party situation. I'm the person who is like on the corner of a room with my own cup of tea, or with my own cup of plate, or with my own plate of food. I'm just sitting alone and eating. So you just be human to yourself and talk about that, and only then they will be able to help you, or anybody will be able to help you. So this is a skill which you are learning. So I will suggest that normally what will happen is that if you are giving speeches, send a draft to your mentor that okay, this is the speech which I want to deliver, this is what I have wrote, can you go through the same, suggest me edits. And it's up to you if you want to accept those very edits or not, right? So at least have few people whom you can rely on, and they can help you out with the same, and they are really very good resources, right? If you have got someone, just imagine you have someone who can listen to you in this today's world. It's such a huge thing, and you have got a mentor. Why not reach out to them? Now, coming on to the leadership opportunities, as I said, no matter what, even if you are the international president, you are still a member, right? And Toastmasters gives you this very phenomenal opportunity that you can serve as a member, and you can advance at different stages to serve and uh, check your skills in a way, like in Hindi we say कि आप कितने पानी में हो. So you can check that very thing, and here you do not have anything to lose, right? So you can try for that. And at the same time, how it goes, as I already said, that every member is part of a club. So in a club level, you have got 7 officers. I was already talking about president and VP, and you would have heard quite a few times from me now. But there is also a sergeant at arms, there's a treasurer, there is a secretary. So I can just give you an example. I remember one of my friends, he was a part of a college club, right? And he really knew how to jot down the minutes of the meeting. Okay, now for people who do not know what minutes of the meeting is, that for any formal gathering which happens, you need to take down notes what happens in the meeting, because that's the only credible source which you can quote. Whether it's a government organization, whether it's a private organization, minutes of the meeting is the most important thing. And he was so good at it that one of his interviews, he was asked like, okay, on your resume I can see that you are part of a Toastmasters club and you served as secretary. What did you did? And he was actually applying for JP Morgan. And he said, I think it was JP Morgan or Goldman Sachs. I'm a bit confused about that, but he was asked that very question. He said that I made, he talked about all those things. And he also mentioned that I made MOMs, minutes of the meetings. And he said, okay, well, can you just tell us what about it? And what do you, if you can show us? And his MOMs were so nice, like to the point that the meeting began at this very point of time. These were the people who were attending. These were the voting members. These were the people on the committee. These were the visiting people. this is what was decided, this is the people who voted in favor, this is the people who didn't vote in, and all those kind of things. That was a deal cracker for him, and he got a job at that very particular company. So it's a skill which you are learning. No skill is uh, demeaning or anything, that's the kind of thing. From you can advance from club to area, division, district, regions, and the world headquarters, that is the board of directors. Right now I'm serving as an area. Last year I was serving as a district officer. From division, from division and above, you are basically elected, and at area and at area level, you are basically appointed, and at club level, of course, you are elected by the club members. But you can imagine, if you're a district officer, the whole district is voting for you. So you learn to interact with people who are from different backgrounds, who have got different knowledge, and that's how you learn. I know people, I've made really very good friends with people who are from different countries and regions, who are from completely different backgrounds, and that really helped me. So it's another thing which you can learn about. And it's also about how you handle conflicts, because people come from different backgrounds and they have got different viewpoints, and nobody's wrong. Everybody's trying to do good, and that's how we all improve. But you learn how to mix and mingle with people and help everyone, each other out. So as you can see, at the club level, you will have president, VP Ed, VPM, VP Public Relations. So the posters, if you see any, how to do the search engine optimization, you can learn that. If you are in VPPR, you can also learn how to run a Facebook ad, or how a company's brand can be built, how to reach out to people, how to make sure the database is ready at any point of time, so that any company or any organization can bank on it. At area level, at division level, where you have got 20-25 clubs, like 500-600 people under you, and you have to run the whole program, how you are going to do that. At district level, like, it's massive, right? You are the finance manager. I remember that our district budget is like in crores, and every time we need to budget, like, okay, this much award is gonna go for, this much money is gonna go for the awards, this much is gonna go on training, this much is gonna go on the traveling, this much is gonna go on the PR. So you need to do that. How do you engage with people online? Now people say that online is not a really very good thing, they want offline thing, but online too has changed the world, and it's gonna remain throughout now. It's not going to change. We can of course shift to offline, but it's going to remain parallel. So as a program quality director of the district, you're going to say that we still can provide you that very same value in that very online meeting. Okay, so think about doing literature kind of festival, or calling someone, like I remember that when 2 years back we called a world champion of public speaking, and there were almost 400 people attendees in the room from more than 30 countries and more than 100 cities for a 2-hour meeting. Like, can you imagine that? And if you have to do that, the PR and all those things which happens, it really means a lot. And again, these are the skills which you will learn in the time frame. Now, what will happen is that once you join as a member, you will get this login credential, and you'll be able to log in onto your portal, and you'll be able to see all the pathways. You can choose a pathway, and you can choose your resources and all those things. You can select your project, begin your icebreaker. That's the first project which you will do. Just talk about yourself, who you are. As you are already seeing that I asked you, like, if you could introduce yourself, but it will be a longer speech of 4 to 6 minutes. Now coming on to the idea that you can also get awards and recognitions. For every meeting you get a recognition. If you are best table topic speaker, icebreaker speaker, evaluator, best role player, you also get pins and badges for completing your pathways, also for your levels. At the same time, there are different programs. You can get certification from Toastmasters, like for speechcraft, and for DTM, like it's the highest educational award which Toastmasters give. who have met a certain professional speaking standard, and it's like only 4 to 5 awards which is normally given in a whole year in the whole world. So it's really very awesome achievement to have, but of course it's very hard to do, but still it's a thing which you can do if you want to dive deep into it. Apart from that, you will get your certificates. You can also participate in the speech contest, which I am not too sure if it's mentioned in the presentation, if I'm recalling it right. So you can also be part of the international speech contest. I remember that one of our district member, Rupinder Singh, he was in the world semi-finals of speech contest, and he was first runner-up. He couldn't go into the finals. If he would have been the winner, then he would have gone into the finals, but he was the first runner-up in the semi-finals. But yeah, it's the international speech contest that you can be a part of. There is also district level contests like table topics, which I already said, or evaluation contest, or humorous speech contest, and likewise. So it's again a really massive achievement to have. Talking about Delhi One Toastmasters in specific, we meet every Friday from 6:45 till 8:45. The club meeting goes for 2 hours. You can reach out to us over delhi1toastmasters@gmail.com. If in case you decide to join, you will have a separate member WhatsApp group apart from the normal guest WhatsApp group you are on right now. You will have all the club resources on the Toastmasters websites as well as on our specific DOTM's website. The newsletters are there. There are Google Drives to help you with the role description and script, and answering what you asked us for about the cost. So yeah, there is a cost involved, but I think, and I will say that it's a cost which is like even nothing what you are gonna get or fetch out of it if you do put in the right efforts. When anybody joins any of the Toastmasters club anywhere around the globe for the first time, they pay the $20 fee, and because we pay the exchange rate and the credit card bill and all, it comes around 2,000 rupees INR. So this is only which you will pay for the first time. Then there is a 6 months fee which you pay every 6 months basically, so twice in a year. So it includes the club charges. Like right now we are holding meeting over Zoom, so we basically need to buy Zoom account, or we are also planning to go offline soon, maybe from mid-April if things work out really, really well. So we can go offline. So then in offline meeting we have snacks, we have the venue, so we pay for that. So everything is included in that very INR 4,500. We have stick with a lower cost because of the COVID. Otherwise, for offline meetings, we normally used to have 6,000 INR. But because we are currently operating online, and we although plan to go offline is sometime soon, but still for the upcoming cycle, we are taking it at just INR 4,500, which is including the $45 which goes to Toastmasters International every now and then, every cycle, or I should say rather. So from April, the new membership cycle is beginning, and it will be on a pro rata basis, because you'll be, if you, in case you join from April, it will be for 6 months. If in case you let's say join from May, it will be only up for 5 months till September. So accordingly, the cost will be reduced. But this is what the thing is. So in a total, it will be 6,500. But yeah, let me know if you have any questions, and I'll be most happy to answer any other questions which you have.
And I have a question. So, for example, I'm right now staying in Delhi and I have plan of relocation in the month of May to Bangalore. So, if I join Toastmaster Delhi area group, then I need to relocate. I mean, then I need to change the group or the area. What will be the procedure?
Okay.
Or shall I say
it's a very simple thing. Let's say first of all, because right now I am operating online, so I will say that currently we are online. I said only if we go offline, we'll be able to do like we are planning to go offline. I'll be very, very frank. But the thing is that even if let's say we don't conduct it in a hybrid meeting, okay, you can start with a club which is near your area. So because you are right now in Delhi, you can join the club if you are interested. and then you can always shift your membership, your transfer your membership rather, to any of the club. And it's very simple process. You just say to your club president or the club VPN that I want to change my membership, okay, or to the vice president membership. You just need to write an email to them. We will just confirm, okay, that your club dues are paid. We will and to the club which you want to transfer, we will send them an email. You on your end send them an email that see that I want to transfer my membership to your club from this very club. We will send an email to them that okay, the club dues are paid. Okay, she does not need to pay any club dues, the Toastmasters charges. Okay, the $45 and the $20 which I said, and the rest of the amount, like so basically the $20 it will completely go into that. So it's only from the 4,500 that after paying the $45, whatever is left, we will refund you that based on the pro rata basis on monthly wise. And then the club can accordingly, the club which you are joining, they can reduce that very $45 cost. And if there is any extra charge which they have, then you can pay the same. But yeah, it's a very simple process. You can just transfer your membership and you will remain with Toastmasters, because Toastmasters is the main thing. Club is not the main thing. We are here for Toastmasters and not one club in specific.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Priyanka has asked me if I can clear the structure. Okay, so let me just iterate this in Hindi. होगा ये कि सॉरी या होगा ये कि आप जब पहली बार टोस्ट मास्टर ज्वाइन करेंगे तो यू विल पे अ 20, जो एक $20 फी आप पे करते हैं, जिससे आपको लाइफ टाइम मेंबरशिप मिलती है, जिससे कि आप थ्रू आउट जो है यू कैन लॉग इन इनटू योर पोर्टल एंड यू विल हैव मोर एक्सेस टू रिसोर्सेस देन व्हाट अ पर्सन हु हैज नॉट बीन अ टोस्ट मास्टर्स बिफोर विल हैव एक्सेस टू. ठीक है, वो आपके पास एक्सेस रहेगा. This is the $20 fee which will go. So it comes about to 2000 INR, and this is like all the fees are non-refundable until unless you are transferring your membership. Now the second part is आपको पहली बार जब आप ज्वाइन करोगे तो आप एडिशनली जो है वो 4500 भी पे करेंगे, बिकॉज वो क्लब चार्जेस होते हैं. क्लब चार्जेस अब मुझे क्लब को जो है वो $45 पे करनी है हर 6 मंथ्स के लिए. ठीक है, तो वो तो सीधा टोस्ट मास्टर्स वर्ल्ड हेडक्वार्टर्स चला जाता है. लेकिन उसके अलावा जो है मुझे क्लब के चार्जेस हैं, वेन्यू के चार्जेस हैं, अब अगर स्नैक्स है या फिर मुझे अगर अवार्ड्स देने हैं तो मुझे ट्रॉफीज खरीदनी होंगी, तो उसके लिए चार्जेस चाहिए होंगे, तो उसमें वो इंक्लूडेड है. तो वो 4500 जो INR मैंने बोला, उसमें वो $45 जो USD जो टोस्ट मास्टर्स इंटरनेशनल को जाएगा एवरी 6 मंथ्स, वो इंक्लूडेड है, and the club charges. So this is the two fee which you will pay upfront when you join for the first time, which I am assuming you are. But जब आप अगली बार renew करेंगे membership, which will be in the month of September, क्योंकि अक्टूबर से नया membership cycle start होता है. जैसे अभी मार्च में वो membership cycle end हो रहा है, अप्रैल से नया membership cycle start होगा. So you will be paying another 4500 at that very point of time, or whatever the club charges based on what the members vote for in the club. अगर वो बढ़ाते हैं घटाते हैं जो भी है सेम रखते हैं. So that is what the cost is. Priyanka, I hope I was clear this time. अगर नहीं है तो just let me know. I will try to frame it in better words. Kapil, just give me a second. Do you have to pay the fees now, or we can decide post? Attending 1 to 2 weekly meetings. Yeah, so I will suggest कि आप अगली हमारी जो मीटिंग है वो डेमो मीटिंग है. ठीक है, so you will be able to get a sense of what Toastmasters meeting is. You would have also received an email from Delhi One Toastmasters Gmail ID, जहाँ पे एक वीडियो है of club experience. So it shows how a club meeting is run. तो वो भी आप देख सकते हैं. But I will suggest कि आप वो एक बार मीटिंग अटेंड कर लो, and then if you find it comfortable, because see, you are investing money, right? So I just would not like as a friend will suggest you that you join a club where you find no benefit, or okay, because if you pay something and if you find no benefit, वो आपके पैसे चले जाएंगे. So have a look at it, and if you find it good enough, then of course you have got time. हमारी meeting next Friday, I think it is on let me just check what's the date. I think it is on 25th. Okay, so it is on 25th, and you still have got time to sign up for the club meeting. And from 1st of April you should still be able to go. हम March में आपका जो है वो charge नहीं लेंगे, because it's anyway like one meeting only. So anyways, you can just attend the 25th one, and then you can decide upon the same. Yeah, Priyanka's next meeting, which will be on our usual date and timing, that is on Friday at 6:45 p.m. The link is same. You can register on the same link, so it's a recurring link जहाँ पे आप register कर सकते हो. तो yeah, the link is the same, but you need to register every time you attend a new meeting. So you can use the same link, but of course we will share the link with you.
And one more question.
Yeah.
What are the usual timing of all the meetings of Toastmaster? Like whether it happens only on weekdays, that is on Friday, or is there any chance of meetings happening on weekend?
We meet on Friday because right now the members we have got, they like from the beginning itself we have our meetings on Friday, but it depends on the members. If in case they want, like if a majority of them votes to go for a different day and time, it can happen. But ज़रूरी नहीं है कि Friday को ही meeting हो. In general, it depends on the club कि उसके club के members कब free हैं और वो कब decide किए हुए हैं कि हमें meeting करानी है. So there are clubs which operate on Sundays, there are clubs which operate on Saturdays, there are clubs which operate on weekdays also, like Tuesday or Monday or Wednesday. There are clubs, so it depends. And I will suggest again, this is again good point. If you are not comfortable on Friday, just let me know, because I've been a district officer before, and I'm serving also as an area director. I can suggest you got clubs where you can be a part of based on your dates and timings which suits you.
Yes, correct. Because being a working professional, it's very difficult to get some time. I'm not pretty sure about the timing as well on Friday, right? So we have late night meetings, and like usually
I can completely
got
understand
free,
that.
yeah, at
Right,
8 or
I can
9.
completely understand that. And like for me, it's even like it becomes a quite big hectic, because like for past 6-7 months I'm in a different country studying, and like right now it must we began the meeting at 4 p.m. but for me it was 10:30 in the a.m. So it can be a challenge when you are dealing with international clients and all. So I can completely get that. Yeah.
Sure, please recommend me if there are any groups which are operating on weekends.
Yeah. Just let me know what are your preferred days and timings, and I will be able to help you.
Saturday,
I'm on
Sunday.
the group.
Yeah,
Okay,
weekend.
Saturday, Sunday. Okay, I will do that. Okay. Any other questions if anybody has that?
Hello, Mr. Kumar.
Yeah, hi Tuku.
Okay, so my question is, I do not belong to Delhi. I'm residing in Odisha. So I think that I would not be able to avail the benefits that you provide at the venue.
Okay.
So can I expect some deduction from the 4,500? Because I'll not be able to get the benefit when you conduct the offline sessions.
Right now we are conducting online meetings, so you can be a part of it. I will have a better idea on the 1st of April, where we are planning for the first time to go offline for a single meeting only to check things if things work with our alumni and all the people who are in Delhi. But what I will suggest is that if you either you can be with an online club, or you can find a club in Orissa, which is, and I know there are a few clubs in Orissa. I think Orissa is also part of District 41, in which our clubs falls under. So I can suggest a few clubs from there. I can get you in touch with area directors or club presidents, and then from there they can take on. If our club remains online, then you are most welcome to join, but I don't find a good idea, because if in case you are not able to attend offline meetings, you are still paying that $45, right? Even if we just leave that our club charges about so I will, if you're not getting benefit, then I will suggest like why to join, what's the rationale, why not just join a club which is online, or maybe which is offline in your area. So based on your preference, you can choose one. Of course, let me know if you want any suggestions on my part. I will be most happy to help. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Any other questions, folks? Let me know.
Yeah, hi Anand. Maya.
Yeah.
So I am actually not in Delhi and I live in Aligarh, which is near to Delhi. So I'm interested in joining a club which can continue doing this on online session, because it would be difficult for me to join to come to Delhi and join offline session. So what
Right.
is the chances, and how long are we going to be online, or when are we planning to go offline?
So our club, because we were an offline club, so this was the first time after COVID that we are trying to go offline, or just to check like whether we should do hybrid in the long term or offline. So we are not decided on the same. But what again, as like other people I can suggest is that of course you can attend the next demo meeting, because even if you don't decide to join Delhi One Toastmasters in specific, I know there are a few online clubs. Even you can check that out on Toastmasters website. There is a tab called Find Clubs Near Me or Clubs Near Me. I don't remember exactly. So you can find that and you can just put in the filter that online clubs. And you can also put on the dates and not the dates, but rather the weekdays or the weekends which you prefer for, and accordingly you can join. So I know there are few clubs which are completely online and they are not gonna go offline. They are online club, so you can probably try that out. I'm not too sure about Aligarh, but if in case you are interested in an offline club, I can check that out. But of course, I think all the details of the clubs are available on Toastmasters website. So if you just put down the area where you live,
Yeah,
you'll be
yeah.
able to
In
find.
Aligarh, there is no Toastmasters club that I know, and that's why I've been the
Okay.
part of the Toastmaster clubs in Delhi only, even in the past. So this also I thought to have to join a club which can provide me online sessions only, so that I can be at my best, because it's work from home and my
I
office is be
I
offline.
think I think you can also think about. I know there are not many clubs in District 41 which does the same, basically like India in India, which are online, but there are few clubs. But at the same time, there are of course many clubs around the globe, because you have to tune only on online, so you can choose anywhere around the globe wherever you want. And that's again a really good idea if you are interested to mix and mingle with lots of other different people.
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Any other questions, folks? Let me know. Okay. I will take a count of 10 then, and I will stop the recording after that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, I will stop the recording here.